Eating hunger, otherwise known as micronutrient deficiency, affects 1 in 3 people globally. That's about 2 billion people. How balanced are your meals? Today on Soundhealth, Kemi Jeje, Chief Executive Officer, WholeEats Africa, will tell us how to address eating hunger. Good evening. Welcome to Soundhealth from Lagos Television. I am Olasumbo Modupe. The conversation begins after this break. Please stay tuned.
Hidden hunger occurs when the quality of food that people eat does not meet their nutrient requirements. So the food is deficient in micronutrients such as the vitamins and minerals that they need for their growth and development.
Women and children in families with low income often don't get enough vitamin A, iodine and iron, and sometimes other essential nutrients. This limits their growth, development, health and working capacity.
It is still Soundhealth on Lagos Television. Joining us via Zoom this evening is Kemi Jeje, Chief Executive Officer, WholeEats Africa, and she is going to tell us about eating hunger and how to address it. Good evening, Kemi Jeje, and thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here this evening.
All right, Kemi, briefly tell us what eating hunger is and how do you tell one is experiencing these challenges?
Thank you very much for that question. First of all, I'd like to start by defining what hunger really is. Hunger is a physical sensation that you do feel in your body as a result of energy deficiency that is linked to your diet. So you eat food and then it produces energy in your body. That's the process of absorption of food. However, when we do not eat adequate food for energy, the body actually feels it in your stomach. You feel growling in your stomach, you feel this sensation, and you say, oh, I'm hungry. However, on the contrast, eating energy does not show up in your stomach. It shows up in many other ways. And what it is while general hunger is an energy deficiency, eating hunger is a deficiency in micronutrients. So you might have just finished eating. Now, you probably have seen scenarios where people just finish eating right now and they go to sleep right there. They can't keep themselves awake. And that in itself is a symptom that the body is lacking certain enzymes that come from minerals. So that is one symptom of eating hunger. They're not hungry anymore as we understand hunger to be, but the body is hungry because there are shortages of certain minerals, certain vitamins in the body that is affecting certain processes in the body. So what happens when you see a person that goes to sleep and they say, oh, I can't seem to stay awake one side? It's certain food. In some cases, they're eating all kinds of food. For some people, they can't eat, for instance, beans is a complex food to digest. They can't eat beans without going to sleep. And at some point in my life, I was like that, growing up as a child. Whenever I had beans, I had to go to sleep for a long period of time. Otherwise, I'll start to palpitate. I'll start to feel funny because my body lacks the enzymes, the mineral that is required to efficiently absorb the nutrients from the beans without disrupting other processes that would constantly be going on in my body, whether I've just eaten or not. So usually I'll have to go to sleep. And then later on, I found out that if I took beans and I had garlic, for instance, with it, I was fine. I was perfectly fine. Also, I had garlic before I had the beans. I was perfectly fine. And sometimes at the onset of trying to find out what the issue was, I had to soak the beans for longer and then eat it. Then it became easier for my body to process. So I'd like to approach this from what I call a GAPS nutrition focus. So it's a global challenge now that most of the world, I currently don't remember the percentage, but a good percentage of the world is suffering from hidden hunger, because it starts to show up in your body as different symptoms, and it's giving different needs. But if we were to have, especially here in Nigeria, if we were to have a means of analyzing what minerals, what vitamins, what nutrients the body is short in, you'll find that a lot of the symptoms that we are having, that people are calling different things, would actually go away.
Okay, from your explanation now, I can take away two things. One, it is abnormal to eat immediately and say you want to go and sleep. And it is also abnormal when you cannot digest, when your system cannot digest beans and some other some certain foods now. So how do you tell clinically now? How do you tell there's something missing? You're experiencing this eating hunger.
So unfortunately, the general approach to treating symptoms right now is disease. Is calling it a name, is first of all going to the hospital and doing tests for different diseases. I'm a firm believer of the fact that food is a healer of the body. The body was created to heal itself. So the first thing that we should actually look to when we start to have symptoms in the body is, what is the body asking for? Because we that's it, just like hunger. It's just that we don't understand all the other sensations. Hunger is just very general, and it's now becoming normal, so that you understand the body's language when it's asking for food. But we have not been able to correct other interpretations of what the body is asking for. For instance, when a person eats and they just cannot stay awake, they want to stay awake, but they can't stay awake. What is the body asking for? I later realized that it was the sulfur. Whenever I had sulfur-rich food, I was able to absorb complex food better, like beans. So it was the sulfur in garlic that helped me to normalize my ability for the ability for my body to correctly absorb and digest beans. And so there are a myriad of these minerals, and they are available in food. The best source for them is food, and that is why with WholeEats, what we have done is to provide in herbs. We're particularly blessed in Nigeria, because in Nigeria we still have what we call mountain herbs. Mountain herbs are, again, we can call them weeds. Plants are herbs that just grow by themselves, so you know that they're still rich in nutrients. So for instance, if I couldn't get garlic to eat, I could have neem. If you know neem and you walk on the road of Lagos, we have neem everywhere, especially in Ikeja. Every time I drive through Ikeja, Alausa, and I see neem there, I'm like, we're so blessed. There's no reason we should be struggling with the kind of illnesses and diseases we're struggling with, because nature, God, has made all those things available for us within our reach and at no cost. What we do at WholeEats is we just package it, because in today's modern day, it's strange to see people. It's not strange, it's not supposed to be strange, but it is strange when you see someone going to the tree to pluck, and like, oh, what's going on here? What's wrong with this person? But these things are available for us, because the food that we now eat, the rice, even the beans, they are now being produced for commercial purpose to meet the need of the population. And we have to constantly cultivate the soil and strip them of those nutrients that should be absorbed as the food grows. So our best source right now, I dare say, is the herbs that are growing by themselves. Nobody's cultivating them. That's our best, and they're free of charge. So that's, for instance, it is also said that most women between the ages of 35-year-old above are deficient in magnesium. And your corn silk, you know what corn silk is? When you eat your corn, we're still in the corn season. So when you buy your corn and you peel it, that silk, those ropes, those are rich in magnesium, dense in magnesium. You could buy magnesium supplements, or you could have those. This is almost free, right? Because we throw them away. And then there are forms of magnesium that would not absorb in your body, but any form that nature has made available, your body will absorb in the measure that it needs, and it will make the most of it.
All right, let's
So for me, we need to embrace the full blessed. So for me, we need to embrace what we have as Africans, as Nigerians. We have other challenges, and health should not be compounding those. We have challenges of a developing nation. Health should not be compounding those. Those are things that we should actually be exporting to the world and globally.
All right, let's understand how we can address this, because we are facing series of challenges now. We have the food insecurity. We also have the high cost of food produce.
Absolutely.
Yes. How do we ensure that this does not impact on our body system, our well-being now?
Most of the nutrients and the minerals that we need are still largely available to us almost free of charge, where Nigeria is concerned. But we have mixed the benefits of civilization, and we've also absorbed the cost of it, because we're looking to high tech to solve the problems that we already have the solutions to almost free of charge. So one of the things I would say is that when a food produce is in season, it's a good time to embrace it. There's a reason why it is seasonal. There's a reason why it is in season. So whether it's something you generally would be excited about or not, we need to be more deliberate about what we put into our stomach. And also begin to pay attention to what you eat, how your body is responding to it, and what your body is saying. Because trust me, the body is always talking to the person living in that body. Always, just like hunger, like I said to you. And then you eat this particular thing, it makes you want to sleep. You eat this particular thing, you start to have headache. And sometimes you've actually done this for so long that it's no longer related to you eating. You just start to have those symptoms whether you eat it or not. It's become chronic. That eating hunger has become chronic. And at that point, you need large doses of those minerals, of those nutrients, to be able to then reverse the steep equation that has been, the steep situation that has been created. And that's where I would say healthcare comes into play. But we don't have to get to that point. And if you're at that point right now, I encourage you, embrace healthcare, embrace clinical care, but also embrace self-care. Nobody is going to take care of yourself for you like yourself, because your body isn't speaking to anybody. The first thing the doctor will ask you when you go to the hospital is, how are you feeling? They're trying to understand what your body has been saying to you and interpret it. But there's a gap. There's a gap between what you say to them, what you're able to capture, and what they're able to even understand. So my belief and my philosophy with nutrition is that nutrition solves 80% of our healthcare challenges. So why don't we take it seriously? Why don't we be more deliberate about it? And like I said, we have blessed as Nigerians. So even for you, I'm sure that just if you look around you, you probably have purple leaves, you probably have lemongrass. These things that are rich in micronutrients. They're rich in micronutrients, and you don't have to go and buy them in a bottle, because there are things that are already chemically processed that your body might not. There may be other things in the processed product that your body might react to. However, they come in balanced form in food form.
Okay, basically now, most people believe eating well should cost much, should drain your pocket, should drain you financially. What are the basic things you need for your system to be healthy?
I know for a fact that we have a global challenge with iron deficiency. We deal with magnesium deficiency. Those two are major. And if you just take your Ewedu and you take it adequately, it is dense. It is dense in iron, even for toddlers, for children, and for adults as well. It will solve. You can't take Ewedu for 2 weeks back to back and then go for a test and you are still anemic. It's not likely, except there are other malabsorption challenges that you have in your body. Now, corn is in season. You can take the silk instead of throwing it away. Do you know how much value we're throwing away every time you throw away corn silk? You can just boil it, put it in water, boil it, and drink it. And that's you loading up on your magnesium. Now, pear is in season. Pear is in season, and you know, that are local pear, it's dense in omega-3. You don't have to go and buy fish oil for thousands and thousands of naira because we don't produce those things here. And therefore costly. I mean, imagine the impact of the dollar on the cost of supplements and the people that have to live on these supplements. And I'm saying that, I'm not saying that you have to stop now, but I'm saying start to introduce the natural supplements to your body along with whatever you're doing so that your costs can begin to decline. And then you can begin to see the impact of it sustainably, because these other channels that we use, they're not sustainable.
What advice do you have for people that are lactose intolerant now? They cannot take milk or anything, any substitute related to milk.
Lactose intolerant is a form of condition that is caused also by some eating hunger. Therefore, your body is it then leads to malabsorption, as in all cases of eating hunger. I gave you grains, that's malabsorption. The body couldn't break it down efficiently. So I'll say that you need to increase enzymes. You need to increase your intake of enzymes gradually. At some point, I was also lactose intolerant and I couldn't take milk at all, but I can now because I ensure that, and the more you eat raw food, the more enzymes you have in raw food. You have sulfur that helps you break down food in onions, you have it in garlic, you have it in neem. You have enzymes that help you break down the particular protein in milk. You have it in purple. You have it in purple. You actually have it in purple. So just take more raw food, take more fruits, particularly for lactose intolerance. You want to take a lot of purple until the body heals and then has an abundance to begin to process that particular food. You also want to take sulfur-rich food like onions.
Okay, Kemi Jeje, thank you so much. But before we let you go, your call to action as we wrap up now.
Okay, so I've said it a couple of times. Let us embrace our natural produce. Embrace herbs as well. And I want to say particularly about herbs, there's been a lot of abuse about herbs, a lot of formulation. You go onto a supermarket and you see slimming tea, long life tea, don't die tea, and all of that. But right in front of your house, you have lemongrass. Read up what lemongrass does. Read up what the safe quantities are. Read up the contraindications and start to integrate these things into your everyday. It makes a whole lot of difference. And that's why at WholeEats we don't do formulations. We have the teas as single teas, so you can just take, and they're in small doses. That is food dose and not medicinal dose. So it starts to impact your body and your health gradually. So embrace herbs. That's what I'll say. Truly, embrace herbs, embrace natural food. This season, eat as much corn, because in another couple of months, we're not going to have it, or another couple of weeks, it's not going to be there again. Eat as much corn, have as much pear, have coconuts with it, enjoy, and as you're enjoying, your body is also enjoying. Why should you be eating things that, while you're enjoying, your body is suffering? And then it starts to speak to you, and then you feed it more chemicals. It just throws you out of balance more and more, and it's too costly anyway.
All right, Kemi Jeje, thank you so much for your time. I hope you would come again when we call on you, so you can give us basic tips on what to eat, all those enzymes, sulfurs, how we can get them in the food readily available in market. Thank you so much for your time once again, Kemi Jeje, CEO.
Thank you, the pleasure of mine. Thank you very much.
All right, I have been speaking with Kemi Jeje, Chief Executive Officer, WholeEats Africa, on how to address eating hunger. You are what you eat. Self-care is all you need to stay healthy. Sound Health continues with trending health report from around the world. Please stay tuned. Well, this is where we say thank you on today's episode of Sound Health. Addressing eating hunger goes beyond eating whatever you see or eating what you enjoy. It goes beyond food security, but eating well, taking the adequate nutrients your body needs. For comments and inquiries, please send SMS to 0035826603 or follow us on social media at LTV Social, #Soundhealth. A sound health is a sound mind. Make healthy living your choice.